Welcome to the Catholic Couch, the official audio podcast of the Catholic Counseling Institute. I'm Amber Pilkington, Catholic therapist, wife, and mother. Around here, we talk about real issues with real faith, blending the wisdom of the Catholic Church with the best of psychology, so you can find clarity, peace, and purpose in your relationships, your vocation, and everyday life. Whether you're folding laundry or driving the carpool, pull up a seat and let's go.
Hey, and welcome back to the Catholic Couch, the official podcast of the Catholic Counseling Institute. I'm Amber Pilkington, Catholic therapist, wife, mom, and woman who once planned every family event for 2 years straight before realizing I might be doing more than my fair share. Okay, today's episode is a big one. We're talking about a phrase you've probably seen floating around, emotional labor, or the mental load, or what I sometimes call the invisible spreadsheet in your brain that never, ever closes. If you're a Catholic wife or mom who's ever felt resentful and couldn't quite name why, this episode is for you. If you're a husband listening and you're thinking, wait, I do help out, this episode is also for you. We're going to look at what emotional labor really is, how it shows up in Catholic marriages, why it's not just about chores, and how boundaries can help restore peace, dignity, and even joy. And as always, we'll check in with our 3 fictional couples, Emily and Josh, Teresa and Mike, and Carmen and Leo, who are back for round 2. But first, let's define what we're talking about. Emotional labor is the work of keeping life running, the planning, remembering, anticipating, checking, double-checking, soothing, reminding, and managing that often falls to one person in a relationship, usually the woman. Sociologist Arlie Hochschild first coined the term in 1983 to describe the emotional effort required in service jobs, like flight attendants needing to smile no matter what. But over time, the term expanded into the home, where one person ends up managing all the feeling-based and relational logistics. Think, remembering your in-laws' birthdays and buying the cards, anticipating your toddler's meltdown at the family party and packing snacks just in case. Noticing your spouse is stressed and adjusting dinner plans around it. Being the default communicator for school, church, doctors, babysitters, everyone. It's not just about physical tasks. It's about the emotional tracking, the behind-the-scenes vigilance, the system that's invisible until it fails. Let's check back in with Emily and Josh. Remember, they've been married 5 years, 2 small kids, and a lot of unspoken frustration. Last week, Emily hit a wall after finding the dishwasher full again and no one else noticing. This week, she's prepping for their daughter's birthday party. She made the invites, planned the food, picked the theme, ordered the decorations, booked the bounce house, and coordinated with her mother-in-law. Josh, he offered to help by picking up balloons the day of. Now, he's not a bad guy, but he doesn't understand why she's so irritated. You said you had it covered, he says. And she did, but it cost her. This is the invisible toll of emotional labor, when one spouse becomes the manager, planner, social coordinator, and regulator, and the other becomes the assistant without realizing it. Let's talk science for a second. Studies show that women, even in dual-income households, continue to carry the majority of emotional labor and mental load. Craig and Mullen, 2011, Daminger, 2019. And Catholic couples, we often walk in with strong ideals about self-sacrifice, family harmony, traditional roles, beautiful values. But without intentional dialogue, those values can quietly reinforce imbalanced dynamics. We tell ourselves, he's the provider. I should handle the home. I'm just more detail-oriented. It's easier if I do it myself. But what starts as a strength can quietly become resentment. And resentment isn't a failure. It's a signal. It's your body saying something needs to shift. Let's talk theology. The Catechism says in paragraph 1603, the vocation to marriage is written in the very nature of man and woman as they came from the hand of the Creator. That includes shared dignity, mutual care, co-responsibility. St. John Paul II, in his letter to women, calls for recognition of the feminine genius, but also warns against exploitation in the name of service. Yes, women are often the heart of the home, but that doesn't mean being the only heart, mind, and nervous system in the house. Let's check in on Teresa and Mike. Teresa is the master of making things run smoothly. 22 years of marriage, 4 grown kids, ministry leaders, picture perfect. But Teresa is tired, not burned out, hollow, because every birthday, every holiday, every doctor's appointment, every "how's your mom doing?" text from the parish, it's all her. And Mike, he's kind, loving, but he's never had to think about that layer because she's so good at doing it. What Teresa needs isn't for Mike to take over. She needs space to name what she does, to be seen, to ask, can we carry this together in a new way? That's what a boundary sounds like. Not punishment, not protest, just truth. Let's talk about the difference between good intentions and healthy dynamics. Sometimes we hesitate to name a dynamic as unhealthy because the person we're in relationship with is good-hearted, sincere, and trying, and that's important. But good intentions don't always lead to good patterns. Let's take a step back and look at this with clarity. A husband can be loving, hardworking, and faithful, and still unintentionally create pressure, emotional dependency, or dismissiveness. That doesn't make him abusive. That doesn't mean he's bad or a narcissist. It means he's human. And it means the marriage, like all relationships, needs feedback and structure to grow in maturity. In fact, the more love there is, the more important boundaries become. Because love without clarity often leads to confusion. Love without communication leads to assumptions. And love without freedom becomes obligation, not intimacy. Psychologist Dr. Henry Cloud puts it this way: boundaries are not a way to push people away. They are the structure that keeps love alive. And Catholic theology agrees. Authentic love is always rooted in freedom, truth, and the good of the other. That includes truth about what isn't working, even when both people mean well. So what do you do if you're starting to realize, maybe I do need some boundaries, but I don't want to upset him or cause conflict or make him feel unloved? This is one of the most common concerns Catholic women bring into the counseling room. Here's the truth. Boundaries don't have to start with confrontation. They can start with clarity. You don't have to come in hot with ultimatums. You can begin by noticing your own experience more clearly. Where do I feel drained or anxious after certain interactions? Are there areas where I'm regularly saying yes out of fear, not love? What kinds of comments, tones, or patterns leave me feeling small, dismissed, or confused? Then practice saying something simple like, "Hey, I noticed I've been feeling overwhelmed lately. I'd like to talk about what might help both of us feel more connected. I love how committed you are to us, and I've also realized there's something I need to start honoring in myself so I don't burn out. Can we try a different rhythm for the weekend so I can reset a little before Monday?" No blame, no shame, just honest communication that honors both people. And yes, he may feel confused or even hurt at first. That's okay. Growth can be uncomfortable, but the discomfort of change is different from the pain of harm. And most good men, even if they don't understand right away, want to love their wives well. Boundaries are not the beginning of disconnection. When done well, they're the beginning of deeper trust. If you've ever thought, "I shouldn't need help," or "this is just what wives do," I want to gently challenge that. Love isn't martyrdom, love is cooperation, love is communion. And boundaries in emotional labor aren't about demanding perfection. They're about restoring partnership. Next episode, we're going to explore how your personality and past shape how you do boundaries, especially if you hate conflict or shut down emotionally. Until then, take a moment this week to notice the invisible work you do. Name it, and know that you're not alone. You're not asking for too much. You're asking for something good. So hey, thanks for letting me into your earbuds today, and remember, there will always be a place for you on the Catholic couch.